America. Another cut in benefits, no doubt. A puffy envelope from the Home Shopping Channel containing a pair of earrings I bought for Fleeta's birthday on back order. Took long enough. Underneath is a postcard from Chilpario, Italy, the town we'd just left a day ago. I flip it over quickly and read, "Dear Ave Maria, by the time you get this, Etta will be married, you'll be home, and I'll be back in New York. This is a reminder. Start living your life for you. Got it? Love, Theodore." I put the postcard from my best pal under a magnet on the door of the fridge. I'll take any free advice I can get. Noticing the clutter on the door, all reminders of my daughter and her senior year of high school, I begin to take things down. Etta's high school graduation schedule from last June is taped to a ribbon of photos she took in a booth at the Fort Henry Mall. She looks like a girl in the pictures. Her coppery hair and long braids makes her seem even younger. She is young, too young to be married, and too young to be so far from home. I close my eyes. Is it ever really possible for a mother to let go? The coffee churns up into the cap of the pot, signaling it's ready to be poured. I grab an oven mitt off its hook and pour the coffee into the mug. The delicious scent of a hickory fire and fresh roasted coffee is the perfect welcome home. I kick the screen door open and go out on the porch to watch the sun take its place in the sky over Big Stone Gap. Autumn is my favorite time of year. It seems to say, "Let go," with every leaf that turns and falls to the ground and every dingy cloud that rolls by overhead. Let go. So hard to do when your nature tells you to hang on. At the edge of the woods, a spindly dead branch high in a treetop crackles under the weight of a blackbird, which flies off into the charcoal sky until it's a speck in the distance. I have to remind Jack that the property line needs some attention. He's always so busy fixing other people's houses that our needs are last on the list. The wild raspberry bushes have taken over the far side of the field, a tangled mess of wires and vines. Pruning, composting, raking, all those chores will occupy us until the winter comes. I hear more snapping coming from the woods, so I squint at the treetops, expecting more blackbirds, but there is no movement. The sound seems to be coming from the ground. I lean forward as I sit and study the woods. I hear more crackling. What is it, I wonder? Then something strange happens. I have a moment of fear. I know there's nothing to be afraid of. The sun is up, Jack is inside, and there's a working phone in the kitchen. But for some reason, I shudder. As I stand to go back into the house, I see a figure in the woods. It looks like a man, a young man, with curly brown hair. I can see that much from my place on the porch, but not much else. His face is obscured behind the thick branches. I raise my hand to wave to him and open my mouth to shout to him, but as soon as I do, he is gone. I close my eyes and listen for more footsteps. There is nothing but silence. "What are you doing out here?" Jack says from the door. "It's cold. Come inside." I follow him into the house. Once we're in the kitchen, I throw my arms around him. "Honey, I saw something. Someone." "Where?" "In the woods."
"When?"
"Right now, this second. He was walking along the property line. I saw him."
"Well, it's hunting season."
"He wasn't a hunter."
"Maybe he's hiking."
"No."
"What, then?"
"It was Joe."
"Joe?" Jack Mack is confused, so confused he sits.
"Our Joe?"
I nod. "Jesus, Ave Maria, you know that's impossible."
"I know." My eyes fill with tears. But I think I'd know my son when I see him. Without hesitating, Jack takes his work jacket off the hook, pulls it on, and goes outside. I watch him as he walks across the field and into the woods. He surveys our property line, looking for the young man. Sometimes he takes a few steps into the woods and disappears. I don't know why, but I'm relieved each time he reemerges. I stand at the window waiting as he checks the side yard and his wood shop. I half expect him to return with someone. With Joe. I hear the bang of the screen door. There's no one there. It was a long trip. You're tired. You're imagining things. Really. Jack takes off his jacket. I didn't see any footprints in the mud. Nothing. I'm not making it up. Jack sits and pulls me onto his lap. What did he look like? He wasn't 4 years old, like when he died, but older, like 20. You know that can't be. I know. I stand up. I go to the stove and pour a cup of coffee into a mug and hand it to him. I pull the rolls from the tinfoil and put them on a baking sheet. I slide them into the oven to warm them. It was someone else, Jack says practically as he sorts the mail. Or it wasn't anybody. My eyes played a trick on me. I hadn't even had my coffee, and I'm half asleep here in my big, fat, empty nest. I miss Etta, and that always makes me miss Joe. I pull the rolls from the oven. You're not going to lose it on me, are you? I'm not crazy. Good. Jack Mac smiles at me. I can handle just about anything but a crazy woman. He tosses the junk mail into the fire. I slather the rolls with butter and jam. Jack studies a bill from the mail, so I feed him the roll. He takes a bite. I turn to get a plate. Jack grabs my hand and licks the jam off my finger. I look into his eyes and see the exact color of the morning sky. He looks at me in that way he never looks at anyone else. With all we've been through, that look still delights me. What are you doing? I ask him, but after 19 years of marriage, I have a pretty good idea. He doesn't answer. Instead, he kisses my neck and loosens the belt on my robe, which conveniently drops to the floor. I say conveniently because I'm still holding the roll, which I lob into the sink like a fly ball. As Jack kisses me, my mind begins to race. Never a good idea when you're making love. The whole point is to stay in the moment. But I'm in my memory bank, trying to recall if we've ever made love in the kitchen. Pale blue ribbons of smoke are curling up from plastic windows on the junk mail. I watch until flames engulf the envelopes entirely and turn them to black flakes that float up the flue. I sit on the kitchen table and pull my husband close. The very idea of this makes me feel like laughing, but I don't. I feel his heart racing with mine, and I think, this is what's good about being married. Knowing everything about someone and yet still being surprised before breakfast. I hold Jack's face, that I slide my hands down his neck and outline his broad shoulders, down his arms, muscular from all that construction work. He is drenched in sweat, so I pull him away from the fire. He smiles and takes in deep gulps of air. I listen to his heart, which beats loud and clear and true, and in an instant, too fast. I have to sit, Jack whispers. I help him to the rocker by the hearth. He sits down and leans back in it, closing his eyes. Are you okay? I go to the sink and run a glass of water and take it to him. I'm old. No, you're not. If you're old, then I'm old, and I'm not old. Dream on. He smiles. I put my head to his chest. Wait here, I tell him. I go to the hall closet and reach up to the high shelf and pull down Speck's emergency kit from the rescue squad. Leola, Speck's widow, gave it to me when he died. I've never opened it. Every time I go into the closet, it glares at me from the shelf, hand-painted by Speck in day-glow prison orange. I even remember the day he painted it. I was in his office, and he sat at his desk, which was covered in newspaper, and painted the tin box with a tiny brush like it was a Monet. I take it into the kitchen. Jack is standing by the sink. What are you doing?